My girlfriend texted her group chat. He proposed with a 0.5 carat ring. How embarrassing. I saw it when her phone lit up on the table. I said nothing, just quietly returned the ring the next day and got a full refund when she noticed it was missing from her finger 3 days later. Original post. I, 28 male, returned an engagement ring 4 days ago without telling my girlfriend. She just noticed it's missing about an hour ago. The fallout is happening in real time, and I need somewhere to process this because my phone is currently melting. Let me back up. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. Solid relationship, or so I thought. We talked about marriage, agreed we wanted it, discussed timelines. Everything seemed aligned. 2 months ago, I started ringing shopping. Here's my financial reality. I make $58,000 a year working in logistics. I'm not broke, but I'm not rolling in cash either. I've got student loans, a car payment, and I contribute to my retirement. After running my budget about 15 times, I determined I could afford to spend around $2,800 on a ring without going into debt or depleting my emergency fund. I went 3 different jewelers, did my research, learned about the 4CS, eventually found a ring I genuinely thought was beautiful, a 0.5 carat diamond, excellent cut, set in white gold with small accent stones. It was elegant, it was within my budget, and I was proud that I'd saved for it responsibly. Last Saturday, I proposed. We were at our favorite restaurant, the one where we had our first date. I got down on one knee, she cried, said yes. The whole restaurant clapped. It was everything I'd hoped for. She seemed genuinely happy, kept looking at the ring, kept saying how excited she was. We went back to my apartment afterward. She was texting people, making calls to her mom and sister, all the normal stuff. I was floating. Best night of my life. Around 11 p.m., she went to take a shower. Her phone was on the coffee table, face up. I wasn't snooping. I was just sitting there, still riding the high, when her screen lit up with a group chat notification. The preview showed enough. Her best friend, OMG, show us the ring. Then my girlfriend's response, which was fully visible in the preview. He proposed with a 0.5 carat ring, faced with tears of joy. How embarrassing. I said, yes, but we're definitely upgrading this, LOL. I sat there staring at that notification for probably 2 full minutes. 3 years, 2 months of careful saving, hours of research, the most vulnerable moment of my life, and her first instinct was to mock it to her friends. Not privately, not gently, with a laughing emoji. How embarrassing. I didn't say anything when she came out of the shower, didn't confront her, didn't let on that I'd seen anything. I just went through the motions. We watched a movie, went to bed. She fell asleep with a ring on her finger, the ring she just called embarrassing to 5 of her closest friends. Sunday morning, I told her I had errands to run. She was sleeping in, still tired from the excitement. I drove to the jewelry store, the same one where I'd spent hours picking out something I thought she'd love. The return policy was 30 days full refund. The salesperson looked sad when I explained I needed to return it, but she didn't push for details. Processed the return. $2,847,600 back on my card. I went home. My girlfriend was up by then, making breakfast, ring still on her finger. She showed it to me with a smile. I keep looking at it. I can't believe we're engaged. I smiled back, said nothing. The next 3 days were surreal. She went to work wearing the ring, took photos of it, posted one on Instagram with, I said yes ring. She didn't post a close-up of the diamond. I noticed just her hand at an angle where you couldn't really see the size. She took the ring off at night so it doesn't get damaged while sleeping. Smart choice, I guess. She put it in a little dish on her nightstand. I watched her do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. Each morning she put it back on. Thursday, yesterday she slept in late, running behind for work. Rushed out without putting on the ring. She didn't notice until she got to her office. Texted me, babe, I forgot my ring at home. Can you put it somewhere safe? Me? Sure. That was yesterday. This morning, she asked me to bring it to her for lunch. Said her coworkers wanted to see it. Me? I can't find it. Her? What do you mean you can't find it? Me? I mean, it's not there. She came home during her lunch break, tore the apartment apart looking for it, checked the dish, the bathroom, the kitchen, everywhere. I sat on the couch and watched. Finally, she turned to me. Her? Where is it? What happened to my ring? Me? I returned it. Her? You? What? Me? I returned it. Sunday morning. Got a full refund. She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Her? Why would you do that? Me? Because I saw your text. Her? What text? Me? Saturday night. Your group chat about how embarrassing the 0.5 carat ring was, about how you'd definitely be upgrading. The laughing emoji really sold it. The color drained from her face. She stood there, mouth opening and closing, no words coming out. That was just, I was just venting to my friends. Me, venting about how embarrassing the ring I spent months saving for was. Cool. Vent received. Ring returned. We're done. We're done. You're breaking up with me over a text. Me? I'm breaking up with you because you mocked the most meaningful thing I've ever given anyone. Dear friends with emojis, while I was in the next room, you didn't even hesitate. She started crying, then said she didn't mean it, that her friends were the ones who made her feel insecure about ring sizes, that she loves me and was just being stupid. Me? You said yes with a smile on your face and then sent that text 20 minutes later. That's not insecurity, that's contempt. She's been blowing up my phone ever since. Her mom has called twice. Her best friend sent me a paragraph about how I'm overreacting. I've ignored all of it. The money is back in my account, the ring is gone, and apparently so is my engagement. I'll update if anything else happens, but right now, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how 3 years ended over a group chat notification. Update 1. 3 days later, the situation has escalated significantly, and I need to document what's happened because this has gotten way messier than I anticipated. First, thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. Some of you thought I was too harsh, that I should have confronted her before returning the ring. Maybe, but here's my perspective. She had 3 days to come clean, 3 days to say, hey, I was being stupid with my friends, I'm sorry. She didn't. She wore the ring proudly in public while secretly mocking in private. That's not a one-time mistake, that's a pattern of deception. Now for the fallout. The day after my last post, her mom showed up at my apartment. Didn't call ahead, just knocked on my door at 7 p.m. on a Friday. Her mom, we need to talk about what you've done to my daughter. Me, what I've done? Her mom, you proposed, let her tell everyone she was engaged, and then took back the ring like it was nothing. She's devastated. She's humiliated. Me? Did she tell you why I took back the ring? Her mom, she said you had some kind of breakdown, that you're clearly not ready for commitment. Me? Did she tell you about the group chat? About how she texted her friends that the ring was embarrassing and she'd be upgrading it? Pause. Her mom, she was just joking with her girlfriends. Women do that. Me, women mock their engagement rings to their friends with laughing emojis. That's normal. Her mom, you don't understand how women communicate. There's pressure about ring sizes, about comparing to friends. She didn't mean it seriously. Me, if she didn't mean it seriously, why didn't she tell me? Why did she wear the ring for 3 days, post it on Instagram, and never once say, hey, I felt weird about this, let's talk? Because she meant every word. She just didn't expect me to see it. Her mom didn't have a great response to that. She pivoted to demanding I make this right by re-proposing with an appropriate ring. I told her that wasn't going to happen. She left calling me immature and not the man she thought I was. The next development came from an unexpected source. Saturday afternoon, I got a DM on Instagram from one of my ex's friends. Not the best friend who'd asked to see the ring, a different one from the group chat. Someone I'd met maybe 4 times. Her friend. Hey, I know this is probably weird, but I wanted to reach out. I saw what happened, and I feel like you should know something. Me. Okay. Her friend. The group chat. That wasn't the first time she said stuff like that. She's been making comments about you for months, about your job, your apartment, your car, saying she was settling and hoping you'd level up eventually. The ring thing was just the most obvious one. Me. Why are you telling me this? Her friend. Because what she did was wrong, and nobody else is going to say it. The other girls in the group are backing her up because that's what friends do. But I've always thought she was way too hard on you. You seem like a good guy who is actually trying me. I appreciate you telling me, her friend. For what it's worth, I left the group chat after the ring thing. I don't want to be part of that kind of energy. Good luck with everything. So, it wasn't just a ring. She'd been talking about me behind my back for months. Settling, level up. I was never going to be good enough because she decided I wasn't before I even had a chance to prove otherwise. That message hurt, but also clarified something. This wasn't about the ring size or my reaction. This was about a fundamental lack of respect that had been there all along. I just couldn't see it until I saw that text. Sunday brought another confrontation. My ex came by to get her stuff. We don't live together. She has her own place. So her stuff was basically a toothbrush, some clothes, and a few books. She stood in my living room, arms crossed, while I put everything in a bag. Her, this is really it. You're really doing this. Me, I'm really doing this. Her, over a stupid text over a joke. Me, over finding out that the woman I wanted to marry thinks I'm embarrassing. That's not a joke. That's who you are when you think I'm not looking. Her. I love that ring. I was just being insecure with my friends. Me. You called it embarrassing. You said you'd upgrade it. Those are your words, not mine. Her. So I'm not allowed to vent? I'm not allowed to have feelings? Me. You're allowed to have whatever feelings you want, and I'm allowed to decide I don't want to marry someone whose first instinct after saying yes was to mock me. She tried a different approach, then softer tears forming. Her I'll do anything. I'll apologize to whoever you want. I'll post publicly that I love the ring. Just please don't throw away 3 years. Me? You threw away 3 years when you sent that text. I'm just acknowledging it. She left with her bag of stuff, didn't say goodbye. More updates coming as this continues to develop. Update 2. 8 days later, things have continued to unravel, and I want to share what's happened because the situation has reached some kind of resolution. Not a dramatic one, but a real one. The week after my ex picked up her stuff was relatively quiet. She texted a few times, ranging from apologetic to accusatory, but I didn't engage, just left her on read. There's nothing productive to say at this point. What I didn't expect was the fallout within her own social circle. Apparently, the friend who damned me wasn't the only one uncomfortable with how things went down. According to mutual acquaintances, there's been a divide in the friend group. Some are firmly on my ex's side, insisting I overreacted and she was just joking. Others, including the one who messaged me, have distanced themselves. The best friend, the one who originally asked to see the ring, has apparently been the most vocal defender. She's been telling people that I was always cheap and clearly wasn't serious about the relationship. She's also been saying that my ex dodged a bullet and is better off without someone so petty. I heard this through a mutual friend who reached out to check on me. Mutual friend: hey, I heard what happened. I just wanted you to know that not everyone believes the story she's telling me. What story is she telling? Mutual friend: that you proposed with a tiny ring to test her, and when she expressed disappointment privately to friends like anyone would, you freaked out and took the ring back. She's saying you were never really committed, and this proves it. Me? That's not what happened. Mutual friend: I know. I've known you for years. You're not the type to test anyone, but she's spinning hard. Me: let her spin. The people who matter know the truth. Mutual friend: for what it's worth, her sister told me she thinks you made the right call. Said she'd heard some of the group chat stuff before and always thought it was messed up. That last part surprised me. Her sister and I had always gotten along, but I figured family loyalty would put her firmly in my ex's camp. Apparently not. The most significant development happened last Wednesday. I was at the jeweler, same store where I'd bought and returned the ring, picking up a watch battery replacement. Not a relationship thing, just a dead watch. The salesman who'd processed my return recognized me. Salesperson: hey, I remember you. The engagement ring return, right? Me? Yeah, that's me. Salesperson: I probably shouldn't tell you this, but your ex came a few days ago. Me? She did. Salesperson wanted to know if she could claim the ring since it had been given to her as a gift. Brought her mom. They were pretty insistent. Me: what did you tell them? Salesperson: that the ring was returned by the purchaser within our return window, and the refund was processed. There's nothing to claim. She didn't take it well. Me? I can imagine. Salesperson: her mom tried to argue that an engagement ring is a legal gift that can't be returned. I told her that's not how our policy works, and even legally, the engagement didn't actually happen since the ring was returned before any marriage. They left pretty upset, so she tried to get the ring back. Even after everything, even after I'd made it clear we were done, she'd gone to the store with her mother and tried to claim a ring she'd mocked as embarrassing. The audacity was almost impressive. Thursday, I got one final message from her. Long email this time, not text. The gist: she was sorry for how things were perceived, not for what she actually did. Note the wording. She felt I had overreacted to a private conversation and that my inability to communicate was the real problem. She suggested we could still work this out if I was willing to have a real conversation and stop punishing her for being human. The email ended with, I still love you. I still want to be with you, but I need you to meet me halfway. I didn't respond. There's no halfway to meet. She mocked the ring I gave her, spent 3 days pretending everything was fine, and then tried to claim the ring after I returned it. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a character revelation. One more update coming to wrap this all up. Update 3. Final 10 days later. Final update. The dust has settled and I'm ready to close this chapter. The practical aftermath is pretty straightforward. We weren't living together, don't share any finances, and our lives were fairly separate outside the relationship. Breaking up meant just not seeing each other anymore. No lawyers, no asset division, no complicated logistics, just done. The emotional aftermath has been messier. Some things that happened in the last week and a half. 1. Her best friend reached out to me directly, the same one who'd asked to see the ring in the group chat and who's been defending my ex to everyone. She wanted to explain the context of the text messages. Her best friend, you have to understand, we always joke like that in the group. It's just our sense of humor. She didn't mean it maliciously. Me, she called a ring I saved months for embarrassing. She said she'd upgrade it. That was her reaction to the most important moment of our relationship, her best friend. But she said yes, she was happy. The chat stuff was just girl talk. Me. If girl talk means mocking your partner behind their back with laughing emojis, then I'm glad I found out before the wedding. Her best friend. You're being so rigid about this. People aren't perfect. You could have talked to her instead of just taking the ring back. Me? She could have told me the truth instead of wearing the ring for 3 days while secretly thinking it was embarrassing. Communication goes both ways. She didn't have a good response to that. Ended the conversation by saying I was impossible and she hoped I'd find what I was looking for. I won't be hearing from her again. 2. The friend who'd originally DM'd me with information about the group chat reached out again. Her friend update on the friend group situation if you care. It basically imploded. 2 people stopped talking to her over this. The rest are divided. She's been playing victim hard, but the screenshots of the original chat got passed around, and some people were genuinely shocked at how harsh she was. Not just about the ring, about you in general. Me screenshots got passed around. Her friend, someone leaked the full conversation to a mutual friend who asked for context. It wasn't pretty. The stuff about settling and hoping he levels up was all there. Hard to spin that as innocent joking. I didn't ask for screenshots, didn't need them, but knowing that the truth was out there, that people could see the actual messages and judge for themselves, felt like enough. 3. Her sister reached out directly. This was the most unexpected contact. Her sister, hey, I know this is awkward, but I wanted to say I'm sorry for how my sister treated you. I've known about the group chat stuff for a while and always thought it was wrong. I should have said something. Me? Why didn't you? Her sister family loyalty, I guess. I kept hoping she'd grow out of it. When I heard about what happened with the ring, I honestly wasn't surprised. Just sad it went this far. Me? I appreciate you reaching out. Her sister, for what it's worth, I think you handled it with more dignity than most people would have had. No screaming, no public drama, just a decision and a boundary. That's actually pretty rare. That conversation meant something. Having someone from her own family acknowledge that I'd been wronged and that her behavior was part of a pattern helped me feel less like I was overreacting. Some final thoughts. 1. Trust your instincts. Looking back, there were signs I ignored. The way she'd make little comments about my job compared to her friends' partners. The disappointment when I couldn't afford certain vacations. The way she'd praise other couples' milestones a bit too enthusiastically. I told myself I was being paranoid. I wasn't too. The ring size was never the real issue. If she conned me honestly and said, I know this sounds shallow, but I have complicated feelings about ring sizes, we could have talked about it. Instead, she said yes with a smile, mocked me to her friends, and let me believe everything was perfect. That's not about carrots. That's about honesty. 3. 3 days matters. She didn't notice the ring was missing for 3 days. 3 days. She was supposedly so excited to be engaged, but she forgot to put on the ring multiple mornings. She didn't look at her hand. That tells you how much it actually meant to her. 4. The refund policy saved me. 30 days full refund. If that store had a different policy, I'd be out $2,800 and in a much worse position. Check your receipts, people. 5. Some people will never see your side. Her mom thinks I'm immature. Her best friend thinks I'm impossible. My ex thinks I overreacted. That's okay. I don't need everyone to agree with me. I just need to be able to live with my own choices. The ring money is still sitting in my savings account. Haven't touched it. Maybe someday I'll use it for something meaningful, or maybe I'll just let it grow. Either way, it's no longer attached to someone who thought it was embarrassing. My apartment is quiet now. Her toothbrush is gone. Her books are gone. The little traces of her that had accumulated over 3 years have all been cleared out. It's strange how empty a place can feel when it's just yours again. I'm not dating yet, not ready, The trust thing is going to take time to rebuild with anyone new, but I'm also not bitter, or at least I'm trying not to be. She showed me who she was. I responded accordingly. That's not bitterness, that's clarity. Her last Instagram post was a quote about knowing your worth. The irony wasn't lost on me. Thanks for following this whole saga. Writing it out helped me process it. Sometimes you need strangers on the internet to confirm that taking back a ring from someone who mocked it isn't petty. It's self-respect. The next ring I buy will be for someone who actually appreciates what it represents. Until then, I'm good. Peace.